When you're feeling nervous, that's a sign that your body is getting ready for a challenge. It's gonna be heavier next week.
Alba Boström from Sweden, 133.5 kilos, her third world record. And there it is.
Come on, let's fight. Come on.
She is fighting to lock it out and manages to do so.
The 2024 edition from Sweden, Alba Boström.
What is going on, guys? Today is Monday, it's my SPD session. Welcome to another YouTube video with that. So I wanted to film this session again this week, mainly because it is my primary squat day. Meaning, and overall, I could say it is also my biggest session for the week, simply because it is an SPD. It is basically on Mondays I got primary, so heavy squats. I squat 3 times a week. Primary means that it's my heaviest, you could say. And most close to my competition day is where I have singles or like a top double or something. So it's close to competition standard. Now I got that today on Mondays, and then I also got my second hardest bench, or second or third. Usually my Monday and Saturday sessions are pretty much just as hard. My heaviest day is tomorrow in bench. Today I got deadlifts as well, so it's hard because it is full upper body. Deadlifts, however, is my easiest deadlifts. It's only like 65 to 70%, so it's super easy. But still, I feel like I try to push every single session with the exact same intensity, because you have to. Secondary days, the lighter days, are just as important as your harder days, because that's where sometimes it's active recovery, it's stimulating your nervous system, it's stimulating just, it's technique work and practice, technique efficiency, which is important. It's hypertrophy. It's not only about lifting top lifts weights. If we could just do that, everyone would just do a single and then get out of the gym. It doesn't work like that. So the other days are necessary to get stronger. So I attack every session the same. However, I feel like on the hardest days, well, most of us are more interested in the hardest day because we want to see where is this lifter's top end. And also I feel like we always want to be at our top end. And this is why a lot of times when we have primary days, a heavier day, many people make mistakes in how they approach that session and how you approach the harder days, simply because you want to lift heavy, you want to be close to your top end, but you're not always going to be close to your top end. That won't be the case. A lot of times you will actually be closer to bottom end or in the middle. Most of the time it's probably gonna be in the middle. And so how you approach these days when you're not at your top end, how to do a good single and get practice on a heavy day without going too heavy or trying to max out. Because maxing out all the time is just gonna fatigue you, and it can actually make you regress in strength rather than make progress. And most of my training is easier than like top end, and you have to accept that. And so I thought that this session is more important to show you guys. But what I'm gonna do this week that I didn't last week is I will be doing the squat today, and that's it for today. And then I'll do the bench with you tomorrow, and I'll do the deadlift with you on Wednesday. So you get to see all my primaries, because you already see my easier bench and deadlift last week, so I felt like it would be boring to do the same thing. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Also got a new mic. I hope the sound is good. I kind of know it is. I just have to remember that I'm so used now to screaming to be able to be heard from the camera, and also I have bad hearing, so sometimes I just normally scream. If you're with me in person, I tend to scream sometimes. It's because I can't really hear myself if I'm screaming, and when I get excited I just keep talking higher and higher. But now that the mic is closed, it's like you don't need to scream. With that said, I got squats today. I am a little bit tired, but at the same time I'm calm. I feel like I'm well rested. It's just that I'm not bursting with excitement or energy. I'm very calm. I'm feeling like I'm in a zen-like state. I'm calm, my body's a bit heavy, but I feel good at the same time. It feels like I'm in a very good mind space. So my goal for today, right now, because I'm in a building block for Worlds, so I got 2 more weeks, this week and next week, of building, and then it's gonna be like a deload, and then it's gonna be progression. So basically it's higher and higher intensity and weights for competition. So now is where I want to build the most. Because of that, what I am gonna do is I'm gonna focus on being a little bit conservative in my single and push my back offs and reps a little bit more. I got 1 by 1, so 1 single set of 1 in the squat first. So I'm gonna work up to that. I did 170 last week. We'll see what I do today. And normally I probably would do like 180, but I'll be a bit conservative. So we'll see if I end up there or if I go maybe 172 and a half, 175. I'm fine with doing the same weight as last week, even if it's like 30 kilos under my PR, because I noticed that when I go up to like 180-ish, I don't have that much juice for my back ups, and I got 3 sets by 8, so I got 8s today, and I want to really build. So what I'll do is actually I'll sacrifice the single a little bit, just get it for practice, and also warm up my nervous system, use it as a warm up kind of thing, and then really focus on my 8s and doing them as well as I possibly can, because if I do them as well as I possibly can, I will be able to build more strength from it. So that's what I'm gonna focus on. I'm gonna start doing my mobility, rehab, and activation, and then I'll get into the squat, and I'll see you somewhere around, well, probably around the warm up and see how I'm feeling, and I'll update you then, but stay tuned. And also, if you do like this video and these kind of videos, just let me know if I should do more of them with the mindset things, just talky about you with you throughout the sessions. I like doing them, so I hope you like listening to them, but let's get going. So I ended up going 180 after all. I will go down to 170 now. Apparently I have 3 sets of 7s, not 3 sets of 8s. So that is nice. I did 140 last week, so I'll do 150 this week. My PR for 7s is 160 kilos. When I did that, I failed the 8 rep. I was supposed to do 8 because my belt unclipped, but the 7th was really easy. So 150 is good for me. I'll do that and try to really focus in. Got a little bit tired from this one, but I checked the program. It was supposed to be a RP 7 to 8 single and not like 7. So I could be like conservative, but at the same time, I don't want to be over conservative because I do want to follow the program. 170 was really fast. So I think 180 was a good weight after all. Otherwise, I wouldn't have gone up to 180. I was thinking like maybe 175, but we'll see. I was a little bit nervous. It felt good, but it didn't feel amazing. But at the same time, I'm not in a program where my top end is gonna be amazing. I'm trying to have amazing reps because the amazing reps is gonna build my top end once we start progressing the singles for Worlds, and we're still 8 weeks away. So, you know, I don't want to get ahead of myself. So now I'm gonna be like very slow because I got 5 minutes of rest on my timer. So I'm gonna unload this, some low steps so that I do reserve energy in my legs. I want to have some time to sit down and rest as well so that I can get a set as good as possible. That would be good. But it's like I said, I feel very calm, very like zen, and at the same time, it's like I thought I was tired, but like when the music hits, I feel like I'm a little bit in the zone. So it's a good day today, and it's week 3, so that is indeed pretty good. I also like that I have a mic because now I can do these things and talk to you at the same time. We'll see how this moves. So I'll try to be really calm on the 7s because it's easy to stress them. Stressing them may mean that I can do a heavier weight, but that ain't gonna get me much stronger because I'm gonna teach my body like the wrong movement pattern. So I want to do these very calmly and not like tempo squats, but feel like I'm in control and like I'm focusing on my breathing, really focus on my ki, warrior scream, which was ki, you know, when you have in like martial arts where they like scream when they do a movement to get the maximum force. You could scream now as well, but I find that it's hard to time and get any power from it when you're lifting. So I just want to focus on really breathing out forcefully as I go up to produce more power rather than just holding my breath and then breathing out. I want to like time my breath out so that I can get more power. You may have heard me like really go psh on the 180. And sometimes right now I don't feel like I get too much power from it, but I know that once I'm used to it, I do get power from it. It's also like when you're in very good shape, you're gonna get more power from it. Now, obviously I'm not in top form, which I'm not supposed to. So that helps. So now we're gonna do these. I can be honest and say I have a little bit of hope that maybe these move so well I can go up, but at the same time, this weight haven't for this amount of reps for a long time. So I just want to focus on doing this good. If I can do this weight for all sets, I'm very happy, very pleased with that. That's my timer. Very pleased with that. So I guess we'll see how that feels and basically just do it out of that. My timer just went. I'm gonna sit down for a little bit while these, just to get my heart rate down a little bit more, but I'm feeling very calm. Just mentally prepare with a little bit of music to get ready for this set. So, because this is where it starts mattering, this is where like the session actually starts, where I really want to be on here. So let's go. That feels very good. So I'll actually go 155 the next. Equal PR. Whew. Oh my God. Cardio. I'll do one more set of this. It's hard because it's cardio. My legs are pumped as heck, but it still is an RP7. I was going to go 155, I know I said so. But then I sat down and I just had this gut feeling like 160. And I was like, okay, it's there. I've been wanting to rep this. Right now is like my era of getting stronger in reps and building a stronger foundation. So I'll take it. My gut feeling is telling you I'm a big believer in believing in your gut. Like sometimes it's just there. As long as you don't force it, allow it to come to you. So I'll do one more, but I need the rest for this one, so talk to you soon. That felt better than the first set. Volume PR. Okay, that was good. Kind of me wants to like, oh, should I do an extra set? But it's like, no, stay here. I'm done with squats for today. Now I'm gonna bench, do deadlifts. But let's see what I can do for 7s next week at week 4 at a higher RP. I'm happy. Okay, so I'm currently at the deadlifts, but I just wanted to make like a finishing touch on the squat session today. Like I said, I'll see you tomorrow for bench press. But overall, I'm just so happy with the squats. It's just like, for me, I've noticed that I am, like for me, my reps strength isn't as high as some others that has the same top end as me. Like for me, I know that reps doesn't necessarily mean a better top end, but at the same time, building the strength in them will result in a bigger top end. It's probably gonna sound like I'm rambling, I'm tired, so. But either way, it's just like, I know that for me, it's hard, especially in squats, to increase my reps, although my top end has become better. But I kind of realized that that could definitely be because for the last years, like I've been so focused on doing a good single, and I feel like my mindset has always been on the single. And then I've always focused on my reps, it's not that, but I don't think I've been like going into the session, I've been like, what can I do for reps today? Super focused on my reps, like going in, what can I do for reps today? I've been more like, I wonder where my single is gonna be. And then I always focus on my reps and try to make them stronger. But I noticed like a year ago that my top end always shows and is higher when I don't push my reps. And so I think that for a long time now, because I've wanted to be a top end, I haven't pushed my reps so much because I know that my top end is worse than. But now I kind of realized that, okay, I need to be able to sacrifice my top end for a while to build that foundation, to actually get more fatigue and build a foundation. And then during the peaking phase, that's when I can focus more on my top sets, my singles, and progressing those rather than the sets. But I feel like because it works so well in the peak and I've always wanted to be a top end, I kind of like did the same on my building blocks, and that's definitely been a mistake. And so now I'm like, okay, I go into the session, I'm like, what can I do for reps today? Like focusing on that. And like I've just done it since Wednesday pretty much, like last week. So I haven't even done it for a full week yet. And I already have noticed that, you know, I can actually feel very energized in my reps. I've been always wondering, like last block, I was like, why can't I increase my reps? And that's because all my mind has been on is the single, and then I want to increase my reps. But now I've gone in and been like, I don't care about the single, let's just do it, let's get it over with as a warm-up. Of course, trying to do it good, but I don't focus on the weight, I focus on the reps. All of a sudden, you know, it's easier to increase them. It's just a thing for me where I'm like, this is a receipt that, you know, I've never done this before. I hit volume PRs and rep PRs in deadlifts last Wednesday, in high bar squats on Friday. Certainly, it's weights that I probably should have been able to do for a long time, because, you know, I've been doing like maybe, let's say like I've done 7 reps at 160 before, I tried to do 8. I only missed it because of a technical thing, but at the same time, ever since then, I've never been up to that weight. So even though maybe my strength has been here for a long time, when I actually get it out, it's like now that I can get it out and I can be very calm and confident in it, that means I am actually stronger. I have a stronger foundation, and that gives me a lot of confidence for, you know, upcoming blocks in the competition, that, you know, my foundation is actually telling me that I am stronger than I've ever been in before. I just have to, you know, not try to hit that top end now right now. Keep it away. Don't care about the top end strength right now. Don't care about what you do for your single. Just focus on the reps. Just focus on the building. And then when it's time to focus on the single, you focus on the single. So you're like, be patient these 8 weeks. It's like 8 weeks and 2 days until it works. Be patient, don't overdo it, and then you'll be strong when it comes, but you definitely have a stronger foundation. So yeah, that's just something I'm happy about. I hope you can take away something from that as well, because I feel like I can't be the only one that sometimes gets so focused on wanting to do like every week 4 of a program. I always want to be at my peak, but you know, I can't. It's just not reasonable to always be at your peak every single week 4 of your program. It's not gonna work like that. You have to be able to take the falls, the dips where your top end is shit because you're building up fatigue, because you're working. And then after that, once you actually rest and recover, the top end will be able to be higher. But if you always want to be at the top and you're not going to make progress, you actually need to have these valleys where it goes down and up. The only thing you want is that the valleys are higher all the time. You have a better lowest level and your top end goes higher. So you can have it like this. Do you see? It goes a bit higher. That's like progress, but having those valleys is important for progress. It's not gonna look like this because then it's gonna be super, super slow. Like the big progress comes after a big valley. That's my rant. I'm gonna do 2 more sets of deadlifts. But like I said, I'll see you tomorrow for bench press. It's primary day, so it's gonna be my heavy single. And see a bit of the mindset there as well, because bench has been feeling, it is strong, but like I said, I haven't had a big valley. I haven't had a big dip. And so I don't have a big top either. Just trying to work on technique on that, but I'll see you tomorrow for bench press. Ohayo gozaimashita. So, Tuesday, just as I said, primary bench day, currently warming up. I'm at 100 kilos right now. I did 127.5 last week and it felt meh, so we'll see. Last week for squat and bench, I was a little bit more focused about the single like normally, and then it was last Wednesday where I really started to figure out and focus on, okay, be conservative on the single, push the reps. So that's what I will do today, meaning that just like with squats, I may do a single that's lower than I normally would do, simply so that I can actually like really get a good rep set, like good backups and push my reps. On bench, I'm better at pushing my reps because even if I do a heavy single, I can usually do heavy reps. It's not like in squat and deadlift where I get fatigued in the same manner, but I'm still gonna focus more on the reps, but we'll see. So I obviously want like a volume PR or equal a PR, but I got 3 sets of 8s. I think my PR with that is 120 or 122.5 kilos. And I usually do that on a week 4, so we'll see where I end up, somewhere close to that, I'm sure, but we'll see if it's I want a volume PR, I can tell you, but if I will allow it to come to me like I did yesterday and not like over push it. I always got next week to push as well. So I just want to make sure depth is okay, technique is okay, and I get a good feeling as well. Like I said, I'm warming up. I'm talking now because now since it's 100 kilos, I can rest for a little bit longer. I got the question in my last video, what rest period I use. I usually set my timer for 5 minutes when I have a timer. And that's especially when I'm doing heavy lifts. Because if you think about it, in competition, if I'm in a prime time session, it's gonna be 8 lifter in the flight when I'm competing, and that means each lifter has about 1 minute. Let's say that's 8 minutes that you have between your lifts, but then you have to factor in not every lift for every lifter is gonna take exactly 1 minute. You know, the spotters probably won't need that much time to load the bar. So let's say it's 7 minutes with that calculate, and then, you know, when you do your lift, you basically prepare like 2 lifters or 1 to 2 minutes before you start standing up, getting prepared. And then right after your lift, you start discussing with your coaches a little bit, okay, I need to do this. So overall, the time you have sitting down is probably like 4 to 5 minutes. So I feel like 5 minutes is a good amount of rest for me, especially as a woman. If I would have been like a man lifting like 300 kilos, probably wouldn't have like 10 plus minutes, but I don't really feel like I need it. When it's really heavy, I'm usually gonna go up to 6 to 7 minutes. In bench, for example, easier days, I can have 4 minutes. In deload weeks, I can have like 3 minutes, but usually I won't set my timer then. I usually set my timer to make sure I rest enough, because honestly, I get bored with resting that long, especially when it's the easier sessions, but I notice my performance is way better when I actually set a timer and rest for like 5 minutes. So I'm not resting for 5 minutes exactly now, but I'm getting ready. It's warm up, and at around 100 kilos, I want to rest a little bit longer between warm-ups, just so that each warm-up is good, because if your warm-up starts to feel, for the first ones, I'm not gonna rest anything, but because I just wanna get warm. But if like your warm-up starts to feel shitty, that's gonna affect your top end on the day, because you're not gonna feel that great. So I try to make sure that my warm-ups feel great, so I build that confidence as well and get a good execution. Yeah, that is it. Pretty much, it's really sunny today, so hence it's a no makeup day. My freckles are popping, which you probably cannot see from here anyway, but that's like a random fact. But when it is sunny outside, I really try to make sure that I do get as much time outside as possible and as much sun on my skin as possible, especially, you know, when you have long winters here without sun. When it comes, you know, you gotta take the opportunity, even in the summers too, because, you know, then there's gonna be a lot of dark months where you feel depleted. So just wanted to like get that energy, and then I like to like not have makeup so I can actually like absorb the sun, because otherwise it's gonna be like a cover. All right, I think that's about rest. So I'm gonna do 100 and then I'll go either 110, 120, or I'll go 115. Probably 115, it depends a little bit how this moves, but 115, I think, and then probably 125, and then we'll see from there. I think I'll end up at around 130 today because I did 127.5 last week and I want to be more conservative. Otherwise, probably I would have done like 132.5, 135, but I want to be more conservative. So I think like 130 or something, and then hopefully do 120 something on the 8s. We'll see. Let's go. Volume PR. I've actually never done 120 for 3 sets. I've done it for 2 sets of 8s before. So that was my previous reps PR. And I've done 122.5 for 2 sets of 7s, but I've never done 122.5 for 8 reps. So today I did 2 sets at 120 and the last set at 122.5. I lifted my butt at 130 for my top single because honestly my technique just wasn't there. It felt a bit off, but I kind of knew it would because my bench does feel a bit off. It was supposed to be RP8, so I didn't like redo it or anything. I just decided to, okay, focus on the reps. The reps are what's gonna build your bench and the reps are gonna build the technique. So focus on those. The single was just nervous system warm up practice anyway. Did that and now I did, so basically a volume PR because 3 sets of 8 at 120 kilo plus. And also rep PR because I've never done 8 reps at 122.5. So rep PR, volume PR, 4th one in 2 weeks. And this is just like, I think that I probably had this strength for a long time, probably could have done this previously. So it's not like, oh man, I've been getting crazy much stronger, but I think it's more so just that, you know, I started focusing on these, and when you you're gonna get better at what you focus on. And then when I focus on these, it's just that, and now I have the energy and I push more. Previously, I wouldn't really bother because, like I said yesterday, because I've been focusing so much on the single, that's why it's a lot of volume and rep PRs now. It's just like I'm getting a taste of the strength that I've actually built as well, but it gives me a lot of confidence. You know, it feels like you're making progress because otherwise when you just focus on the single as well, it can be a dryness of progress. You may not see it, like you're not getting a better single, for example, for a few months, and you're like, okay, maybe I'm not getting stronger. But this shows for me that all the work I have been doing, you know, since Junior Worlds, have been working. Like I've actually built a foundation and a strength, and now it shows because I'm focusing more on the reps, so I'm able to show it. Maybe I can't show the top end like for the singles yet, and we'll see when that shows. Like I have a feeling I'm stronger, but we'll see when the top end shows. Obviously, I wanted to show for Worlds. That would be optimal, but we'll see what happens. I'm gonna do my very, 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 very best at least. But so I'm very pleased with this. I'm very pleased with like the mindset I have. It turned into, you know, a really good session, and like just having that small win. Yeah, it's a weights I could have done. It's not like, oh, I did a 10 kilo PR. It's like, honestly, it was one more rep at a weight that I've done 7 for 2 sets before. So yeah, I had the strength before, but now I can show it. And that gives me like at least a lot of confidence. So I'm pleased with it. Now I got close grip bench as well. And after close grip bench, I got, let me cook. It's either lateral raises. Yeah, it's lateral raises. I have to, because I have to remember what's in this program. It's always like either rear delts, triceps, or lateral raises, but it's lateral raises today. So side delts. So not a lot, and then I'm gonna do my 100 push-ups, my 100 sit-ups, my 100 squats. Yes, I'm still going. It's a bit funny. I'm a bit crazy, I know. I don't know, but yeah, it's fun. It has been feeling good. I've felt more conditioned, so maybe it's helping. Maybe that's the reason for all the volume rep PRs, who knows? I don't really think so, but I'm sticking to it for 30 days. And then if I'm still feeling good because my recovery is good, I may keep doing it just because it's a mindset thing. It feels like I'm more conditioned and well trained, or I'm just getting Yin Wu level and One Punch Man level strength, who knows? I'm not running the one 10 kilometers, but that's because I'm a powerlifter. Either way, that was bench for today, top end sets. So actually now I won't be filming more for today because I am filming the top sets for tomorrow. So instead, I will actually see you tomorrow for those, for the deadlifts, and let's see what we can do there. I hit a rep and volume PR in deadlifts last week, and now I got 5s. So I got 1 rep less and higher RP. PR for 5 reps is 200 kilos. So we'll see. I've only done that for 1 set. That's definitely my goal. I can be honest with you. When I say it, I'm like, maybe I shouldn't say it. I'm gonna jinx it. But either way, obviously it's my goal, but we're gonna see on the day. Gonna have a conservative single again. And so I will see you in tomorrow's session. Hoping, praying that my autofocus is working. So Wednesday today, deadlift day. I can be honest, I'm a little bit nervous for today's session simply because, well, I know that it will be tough. Like, I have this gut feeling that I can do it because my PR is 200 for 5. I got 3 sets of 5 in deadlifts today. I'm gonna be conservative in the single, push the reps. So pretty much I feel like I'm going to be a bit conservative. I've done 200 for 5 before, and when I did that, it felt like I had more in the tank. And the set after, I actually tried to do 5 at 207.5, only got 4 though. So I feel like I do think I can do it, but at the same time, I know that it will be tough, it will be hard, it's going to take a lot. Like, if I start like stressing, skipping my technique, then I could very well like miss a rep or so. But if I'm calm, if I endure, I can do it for the right RP. But we'll see how it feels on the day. If I feel very, very shitty, I'll go lower. If I feel amazing, I'll go higher. Probably won't go higher. So I will adapt. Like, that's my goal for today, but I still will adapt to so that I follow the program. So I'm not gonna be like, okay, I'm just gonna focus on the reps and just push through and go RP 10. That's not it. I just have like this gut feeling of 200 for a volume PR. If I can hit it for more than 1 set, it's a volume PR. So that is obviously the goal. I'm a bit nervous because it's like would be PR. Like, I remember failing attempts at 5 reps on 200 so many freaking times. Like, honestly, so often. Now being like, now I can actually, you know, get it for more sets. It's a bit daunting because it's like, okay, can I do it? But at the same time, I'm confident in my abilities and that I can. Yeah, that's a good feeling. And also you have to remember, when you're feeling nervous, that's a sign that your body is getting ready for a challenge. So, you know, I have had meets where I'm not been nervous, and when I'm not been nervous, it's actually come back to bite me in the end. Like, for example, open worlds. I was not nervous at all for my last pull. I just went in super calm, and so I couldn't give my all. And for junior worlds, I really focused on allow yourself to be nervous, embrace that feeling, because when you're doing that, it's like your heart is pumping, your temperature rises, but you feel like you're on the edge, but that's when you have the best focus and the best power as well. Previously, I've had mornings when I wake up and I feel nervous and I'm like, oh, I feel so nervous. And so I would be like, maybe, you know, I would take that nervous for not feeling at my best. It's not a good day today. I would decide when I'm in bed because I feel a little bit daunted. I didn't realize that it was because I was nervous for the challenge. I thought it was just that, okay, I don't feel super confident. I don't have a good gut feeling. So, okay, because of that, I have a bad day today. So I'll just take it easy. And I've learned now over the years that you can't do that. You have to believe in your capabilities and you have to embrace feeling nervous, feeling that pressure, feeling these feelings when your heart is pumping, everything, you know, the emotions are all over the place, but that's when you are at your highest level. When I can do my best session, my best lift, that's how I'm gonna feel. You know, it's a little bit like a demon slayer, you know, when they're doing the repetitive motion. When they're trying to get, sorry if I spoil, but you know, they're trying to perform better, you know, not gonna spoil. So they're trying to perform better. They focus on their breathing, they raise their temperature, and, you know, they get there and their heart rate, and then they can get maximum. I feel like it's a little bit on the same. I feel like that's actually something you can take into reality. With that said, I'm gonna fix my shakes right now. I got water in this one. So I'm gonna fix my shakes so that I have that for training now already. I'm cooking my rice and then I'm actually gonna do some work for an hour and then I'll eat and go to the gym later, but I thought I could show you what I got. Although some of you may already know, but let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna take this off. So I'm just gonna wash these a little bit. And then what I will be having is I'm gonna have 350 milliliters in one. That's just because normally I would have 400 milliliters when I have a day of juice during my session, but I know today's sessions will be a little bit longer because I want to have the same macros. So I'm gonna combine the juice I would normally have in the morning before sessions when I train in the morning to like the intro workout, because I'm gonna have lunch too and breakfast, so I don't need to have like that juice before. So instead I'll combine it into the intro workout to make sure I'm feeling a little bit better. So I try to, like, my juice and the numbers I have is solely based on like how heavy is the session and also what I get from Kedrick, to be honest, like what I want, the amount of carbs I want in my intro session. So that's pretty much what I go on. Okay, I put a little bit too much. 4 times. Let's just do 303. Let's just put 650 in this one and then I can transfer it over. Yeah, so also I want to make sure that you don't have too much carbs in this one when I have my electrolytes, because if you have too much carbs, you're not gonna be able to basically transport all of the electrolytes and sodium into your bloodstream. So you want a good, like, basic combination of water, electrolytes, and carbs, so you're not getting too much carbs. That is why, for example, just a Powerade may not be the best thing, because it's mostly carb. It's more carbs than it's needed for the taste, and more carbs will just basically push a lot of the water into your stomach. And if you have like a ton of water in your stomach, you know, basically what we want to drink, and then we want the sodium, and we basically have sugar, fructose and glucose, sucrose and glucose transportation, and we also have sodium transportation to get the water into our bloodstream, which is where we want it to perform the best and feel at our best. But if we have too much carbs, then a lot of the water that you hold in your body will be pushed into your stomach to start digesting all the carbs, and then, you know, you're getting the opposite effect of getting optimal hydration. So if you have the right amount of carbs, which I think is about 1 to 3% tops ish. No, I don't remember the exact number top of my head, but then having the right, then you will have all of that carbs that you will get it for fuel, but at the same time, it will help transport the water into your bloodstream, which is what we want. So that's why you want to make sure you're not having too much carbs. I would rather than have like extra carbs and, like, for example, 2 shakes of water so like I have 2 shakes rather than 1 with a little bit of like sugar in each one of them, carbs in each one of them, to make sure that it's pretty much optimal. So, and that's something that I found that truly helps like a lot. And then you also have to factor in if you have electrolyte powder with carbs in it, you have to factor that in, which I'm doing. All right. I wanted to have like Star Nutrition's electrolytes, but I don't have them at the moment. So I'm having these because they were out of stock. These are just like normal electrolytes, but they also do have some carbs in them. I like them. They're good in taste. They're yeah, citrus. I have no idea how to say that in English. So I'll have 2 of these in each. So I have 2 for 500 milliliters to 1 liters of fluid, pretty much. So it's quite simple. And then I'll also have my creatine in here, and you may wonder why. So first of all, having your creatine with carbs can be a good thing, although I do know that you need like 65 or 75, I don't remember, grams of carbs for that. A lot of people won't be able to do that, so you can also take your creatine with protein and get kind of the same effect. But what we know is, like, first of all, just get your creatine, and the timing isn't that important. I haven't read if it's 100% completely true. I just listened to it honestly on a podcast, so don't quote me exactly on it, but I do definitely, it's from a researcher. So it may be absorbed faster with muscle contraction, and that's why it can be beneficial to take it during training, or like before training or after training. Like if it does like make sure that, okay, the creatine does way more for you, I do not know. So just get your creatine in. That's the most important thing. If you take it whenever you take it, it doesn't really matter, but it may be absorbed faster. And if that gets you better gains from it, I actually don't know. I can speak on that. But if you take it during your training or after, because it could be good with muscle contraction. So that's pretty much it. So I am having it in my shake during training. And although I don't have 75 grams of carbs with it exactly, so that's not optimal, and I don't use any kind of protein powder, so I won't use that after, but I just find this works for me. It's easy to get it in as well, or sometimes I'll take it after. On a rest day, I'll take it in the morning. I like to breakfast. So, and I use monohydrate just because monohydrate is the easiest one. I've been interested in maybe trying Creapure, because Creapure is still creatine monohydrate. It's no other form. You don't want any other form than the monohydrate, but it may be like better selected so that it's more of monohydrate and not of any other kind of weights products or something. So I'm interested to try that at some point, but not now. Then I'll just have water in this pretty much. So fill it up. So they both have like 700 milliliters-ish. I just kind of know that with this amount of orange juice, the saturation will be pretty good for the electrolytes. And so this is like how I like to do it. It's my little routine. It's also just one of these things that I've been drinking orange juice for my session for such a long time. It's just that it feels good. When I do it, it's like, you know, sometimes you feel a little bit lightheaded, tired during the session, and then I can sip my orange juice and I just feel a little bit better. So it's like a mental thing because it's fresh, it feels a bit energizing. So that's why I've been liking to do it. And then like I sometimes take like table salt instead of having electrolyte powder. It's just that what I like with this is that you get potassium. Potassium may help a little bit with transportation of fluids. Like I said, these are things that everything that I say, take everything with a grain of salt, simply because I have not, in these cases, my area of expertise is more training, so I haven't like sat down and read like every literature and analyzed absolutely everything, so I could be wrong on some cases. But this is what I do for myself, and if you want to try it, you can do that. In the end, it's all about finding what you like and what you find you like for yourself. It would be different if I was like, take this crazy PBO and you will hit 200 kilos in no time. You know, that kind of hype, because you know, things doesn't really work like that. Creatine works, but it's not like you take creatine and then you're the Hulk. You know, it doesn't work like that. All right, so I don't know where the lid to this one is. I actually got no idea, so I need to find that. But now I get this prepared and we'll make it easier to like be done for training afterwards, which is nice. Where's the lid? Found it. It's also good to like have, previously I would always have a big shaker, but I kind of prefer to have like two. Then I can have like the first one in the beginning and then have one. Because I found that on the like deadlift day, I have squats before and then I have deadlifts and then I have like back. It's a big session. So even though it's not bench as well, but so then I found that like having two, otherwise I'm just gonna have to drink water at the rest of the session, and this is so nice. So it's nice to be able to like combine my total carb intake so that I can have more intra-workout as well. So it's all about like planning and tracking your macros, which I do pretty much, I'm not gonna say every day, but it's mostly because I sometimes eat the same. So, you know, I know that, okay, I ate the exact same thing as yesterday, so, and I tracked yesterday, so, you know, I don't need to track today. But otherwise, every time I eat something new, I'm gonna track it. That's the story. With that said, sorry for rambling, but I hope you learned something from it. Now I will see you in the gym once I'm there warming up. Like I said, squats, deadlifts. Let's see if we can hit a volume PR. We'll take what's there on the day. All right, currently warming up 130. I did 130 for my pause squats last week. It's supposed to be like RP 5 to 6, so something super simple and super easy. So we'll see how this moves. I'll probably maybe will do a little bit more weight than last week, but I want to be fresh for my deadlift at the same time as I want to make sure that I get stronger in the squats from this as well. And last week I felt tired in the squats, but I still felt strong in the deadlifts, like when it came to. So I think it will be good this week too. Just gotta try to nail it and also focus a bit more on my breathing from the feedback that I got from last session from Joey. So let's go. Yeah, that's easy. So I'll do 140 next. I think that will be a good weight for today. Felt actually like way easier than last week. And like 140 will still be like a super easy weight. Sorry, I sound like Sid with mouth guard. But yeah, pretty good. Last set it felt like I was way deeper than I was, but it's also like watching the video from this angle, it always looks a little bit different as well. So I have to keep that in mind, but I'm gonna check on this one, try to go deeper. It felt pretty good. So I think next set will probably feel even easier because I will have done, my nervous system will be like up here kind of thing. Whew. When 4 reps is cardio, you know you're a powerlifter. Just kidding. Okay, last set. Let's see how this one feels. But the other ones have been feeling pretty good. So do this, rest for a bit, and then we'll go into the heavy deadlifts. Woo! All right, all done. So let's get ready for the deadlifts. That was probably like a warm up, but good technique work as well. So it will transfer over. utan att jag 5 på det här så många gånger förr. Alltså jättemånga gånger så här, flera månader sedan så här. Typ förra året. Men grejen var att vad jag alltid gjorde på sista var att fjärde var så tung, typ som nu. Och då typ så här, tog jag om eller något på sista. Så här för mycket. Och då blev det att, du vet, då blir det att jag tappar helt. Och då blir sista bara slarvig. Men nu visste jag det, så jag bara, fjärde var tung, jag bara, dra bara slacken. Jag bara, gör ingenting annat. Dra bara slacken. Okay, so I'm done. I was gonna talk like in between the sets, but honestly, it was tough today. So I did do 215 kilos for my single, so that's 7.5 kilo increase from last week. It felt good, but I did feel like my legs are not here today. It felt good, very, very good technically. Like I could maintain position really, really well, which I'm very happy about, especially when it felt that heavy. That tells me that I do get more, just not today. It was supposed to be RP 7 to 8, so it was supposed to be a bit more heavy, but I feel like I could maintain technique and proper position very, very well in it, which I'm happy about. I was like a little bit, okay, 215 actually felt harder almost than 207.5 did last week, so maybe I should not go to 200 and do 5s like my goal was, because I do feel like feeling a bit more shitty, and I hope that I can maybe tell you more about it. It's just a little bit of a life stressor, positive one, but that's going on, and maybe I can tell you more about it in the upcoming 2 weeks. We'll see what happens. But so just because of that, I think I'm honestly just a little bit off today, but once everything's sorted, actually I will have way less stress, so it's a good thing, but we'll just see. It's a big why or question mark right now. But so I still was like, okay, I'm feeling worse today, but at the same time I feel like I do got one set of 5 in me without like overdoing it on 200, like I know that, and that will at least equal my PR. So I'm gonna do it and see what's there, because I feel like my technique and positioning is so good today that if I can just maintain position, like which I can I just endure the bottom, I will be able to do it without any issues. It's just that if my mindset goes away and I start stressing, then it's not the weight for me. Got some help and excitement and pep here from the gym, from Amanda, so that was nice. Did 200 for a first set, and it was tough, definitely harder than when I hit 200 times 5 for the first time, which was in Sheffield prep. It was way easier. Was not that today, but I kind of knew it, but I still got it. I'm super happy with it. I rested for a long time and decided to redo the weight, get a volume PR, and I did. It was amazing, and I felt like I could do it for another set in another set, but I felt like that will totally be overdoing it. I've already gotten like a volume PR, so I should just be happy with it, stay here, take the win and leave a little bit of room. So I actually lowered to 195, which is still pretty close to 200, especially since, you know, I've already done 2 heavy sets on 200. Like I'm gonna be fatigued now, but I still got that. Hear my scream afterwards. It was like, whew, finally done. But so I'm really happy with how it turned out. My glutes are on fire. I'm so tired, but now I'm gonna do, I got dumbbell row, I got a cable one arm lat pull down as well, and then I also am gonna do shins, because it's something that I've added in this block a little bit because I wanted to learn, and I feel like if I'm gonna get stronger, getting stronger in my own body weight, I think that will actually help me out, actually, you know, increase my overall strength. Like just being more well-conditioned. I just had that belief. It's not something that necessarily will help, but I decided like this block, I can't like try stuff and get a little bit extra fatigued, because then it will be a progression phase. And if I'm very fatigued when I get into that, when we take things out, I'm gonna get more of a like upward trend usually. So I think it's good. So I've been doing it for a while now, and I've been getting up to like doing multiple set with restrictions and being able to always do 5 to 10 reps. So we'll see how it goes today. The last 2 weeks I've PR'd in my shin reps on this Wednesday, so we shall see how things go. I'm gonna do my 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, and 100 squats, like literally still doing it. I don't know why. Oh well, if I don't feel fatigue from it because it's so easy. I can do 100 sit-ups in a row now. 100 squats I've always been able to do. It's easy. Push-ups I can do 50 in a row. So when I get to 100 push-ups in a row, that would be cool. Then I could do it. But I'm gonna try to beat doing 100 in less than 4 minutes and 45 seconds today. Yeah, it's just random things. But I'll film everything for the rest of the session probably. But those were like my mindset today. Today I used to like dig deep and focus on the reps, because I am okay with being more fatigued, because I know that this block I just want to build as much as I possibly can, and then we'll reap the benefits next block. So my top end strength this block, I know it will be lower because I'm going to be fatigued. I also think that squats, hitting a volume PR in squats on Monday probably also affected me a little bit. Hitting that like volume PR in squats definitely, affects your deadlift. So that probably fatigued me a little bit more today. So I wouldn't be surprised if I'm gonna feel even more fatigued next Wednesday. But we'll see. I got 5 sets of triples then as well, but at a higher RP. So we'll see if we can do something more than 200, or maybe just do another set at 200. So doing all 3 sets on 200, but I'm trying to collect volume PRs. That's my goal this block, collecting volume PRs. Not necessarily rep PRs or such, but volume PRs. So we'll see. But that's that. I'll do my accessories, film a little bit of you, and then I'm gonna film you a small outro at the end of the video. But so far, thank you for watching. And I wanna say as well, if you're interested in coaching, click the link below and you can schedule a free call with me, and then you get to know everything. And if we are a good match and we feel like we can communicate well together, I'm gonna tell you all about how the coaching works, prices, everything, no strings attached. If you book the calls, if you're interested, please do so, and I'll see you there. And yeah, let's do the accessories.
Alla de här distansövningarna. Vad säger du då? Jag ska inte en supersätta. Men jag har 6 assistans. Det är växlat med den förra. Med långa. Imorgon ska jag ringa Mark och prata med ett månader sedan. Jag har ju grusat upp bort med. Ja.
Okay, I'm done with this. So now I'm gonna do the cable lat pull downs, the one arm. And then after that, I'm done with the program at least, so we'll see how it feels. So this is one of my favorite back exercises because the mind-muscle connection is amazing. Although I do feel like, and I feel like for me, I build more back muscle and mass with lightweight controlled movements than I do with heavy weights and uncontrolled movements. Like if I just focus on the weight, because like when I just focus on weights, I just build traps. Like honestly, that's why I have to be so mindful about my upper traps not like taking over. Simply because if they do, I just build traps and I don't need more traps. So I really like this one. Apart from like a normal lat pull-down, so just doing it kneeling, it's so nice. So one of my favorite ones. 2 more sets of this. I outlasted everyone in the gym. I'm completely alone now, which never really happens on Wednesdays, to be honest. Like this is like the first time, to be honest, because there's always so many people here, but I think it's because it's Easter this weekend. I don't care because I don't really celebrate Easter. Like we don't do anything. I didn't even know if it was Easter last weekend or this weekend. I'm like clueless. But so, you know, a lot of people are off from work. So going to, like my sister, for example, and my family they're going to like, what do you call it? Like out in the woods, camping pretty much. I just don't do that. So for me, it's like nothing is happening. So I think that's why everyone else is gone and I'm alone, which is a little bit nice though. I am basically done with my session. All I got left is abs, sit-up. Not gonna do sit-ups, gonna do cable crunches. So I got that left, but I'm done with everything else. So for my push-ups update, I did a new PR, 51 reps in a row. I just did that one more rep to get a PR out of pure determination, but it was so hard. So, and then I did all my 100 reps in 3 minutes and 3.5 minutes. So that's 1 minute and 15 seconds increase from yesterday. So now I'm gonna track that progress. I hope to get to like 100 in a row, then I'll stop. I don't know, but it's kind of cool. So I just need to unload the bar. And then for shins, like honestly, I just felt way more tired in them today, which makes sense. And you may be wondering, like, if you want to be strong in them, why do you do them after your accessories? Because it's just some add-on I've added because I think that it's nice and good. I've been doing it the last 2 weeks when I've been hitting PRs too. It was just a weird one, but I did 2 sets of scapula, 4 sets of 5s, and so that was pretty decent. Need to unload the bar, and then I need to walk back home, eat, and then it's gonna be the evening. So this will be it for this video, but I hope you got a little bit of mindset now. World's prep, obviously not my heaviest week. Next week is gonna be heavier, and I'm enjoying it. One part of me is like, it's gonna be heavier next week. And at the same time, then I remember, but I love this. And then I'm like, yes, it's gonna be hard next week. It's like, it's not nice because you feel like you're gonna die, but at the same time, I enjoy it because I feel like I'm gonna die. It's like, you have to dig deep, you have to lock in, which is nice. It's not always gonna be like this. I have a lot of easy training. This is just for me right now. It's a few weeks of harder training before it's gonna be more easy. That's why I'm having this now. I'm really like focusing on getting my reps done and everything, but I'm feeling pretty good. I feel like I'm getting good stimulus. It was a good one. It's been a good start of the week. Now I got 3 more sessions this week and they're going to be a little bit easier, but I'm still gonna like focus on the reps, but don't got any top sets. They are always a little bit easier. Probably will have an increase from last week, but gonna focus more on technique on them, especially in bench. I'm gonna dial down and focus on keeping my butt down a little bit more, keep it more solid and put more weight in it. So that's gonna be it. Yeah, I'll pretty much see you for a video next week. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and thank you for the support that I've been getting on these videos. I really enjoy it. It makes it more fun for me to do them, and I hope you love this new video with a microphone and that you like the fact that you can actually hear me without any other weird stuff in the background. So either way, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for the support. I'll see you in the video next week.